Hey guys, it's Jeremy. I've been inspired to do this video by a show that I'm watching on Netflix. I'm not sure it was originally on Netflix. It's called All American. It's not about sobriety, but it's very good. And one of the characters, she's acting, of course. Wouldn't know about her behind the scenes. But one of the characters is sober, or she's struggling to get sober. And I was very inspired. Part of the show is that she does a podcast about sobriety and taking on issues of race, addiction. There's a lot of race controversy in the show and the struggles that go along with. She does a podcast. It's about social issues, let's say. And I was very much inspired by it. I was very, if this was a real character, if she was really like that in person, I would have so much more respect for her, for doing this podcast, for bringing it out to the world, for people to get rid of their shame of having an addiction, still being addicted, shame at work, whatever the case may be. I obviously have shame in my life, so I'm saying that a lot, but and what else goes along with being sober. And it's so much respect for this character for being passionate about it. So I decided to do a video on why would I break anonymity. There is one of the traditions that, I'm going to say it wrong, I've heard it thousands of times over the years, but we must always maintain personal anonymity at the level of press, radio, and film. Which I do think is a good idea. You know, for many cases. When I was new, I remember the job that I was working at, somebody saying something and my boss heard it. She said it very loudly. And I was like, no, 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 no. You know, and turns out the boss didn't hear it at all. And she only heard me saying to the woman, what are you doing? Like, why would you do that? She didn't hear the woman saying anything about me. She only heard me saying, why would you do that? And getting angry. Go figure. But it is more important, I find it more important for me to let people know this is out there. I will do the disclaimer that I am not perfect. I screw up every day. I suffer from depression. I have thoughts of harm, self-harm, you know, feelings of hopelessness, all this stuff. Depression is bad. I don't know what anybody else feels in their own minds about their life. But so, reasons I break anonymity. Let's go. To break the stigma, to be honest, open, and vulnerable. Very rare qualities. I'm not sure, I don't remember all the videos that I've done on this channel, but about a radio DJ out of New York who decided to open up about his struggles with, he's not an addict. He says he's done some things, but he talks about that he's a black guy. You know, he shares about from his perspective about how in black culture that it is not talked about. And again, so much more respect for him to bring it up. You know, and he says, nothing we face can be changed, but nothing can be changed until we face it. And he's advocating for people of color to go get help. It's a great thing. I was like blown away by that. And he's got a TV show now. He's got a radio show out of New York to help people of color to realize there's a problem. So to break the stigma about it from whatever culture you're in. It helps to break the pride. Breaking anonymity for me is breaking the pride, ego, and boasting in the workplace. Like the face that I have to put on, that all is well and good when it's really not. We all do, you know, want to create a culture of like a team where we can all let out, we can all get our stuff out and deal. So to break that pride, ego, boasting in the workplace so we can work better as a team. I'm also reminded of, there was a job that I worked I don't remember what year it was. I think it was 2017, 2018, something like that. And the guy, I wouldn't tell you who, seemed very happy. Got along with everybody. He was good. He was good at his job. He was pretty good at his job. And I had no idea, and I was already sober, but I had no idea he had this problem. He was well adjusted, got along with people, did his job, and part of me wishes, I don't know if this is about me or him, to be honest, but I wish he could have gotten sober so much earlier. I wish I knew, and I would have told him, where no one was around, and said, let's do this. And that's also on me that he had no idea about me. That's somebody, I don't know if I could have saved him, but let him know there was a solution out there to help him get this sooner. Who knows what would have happened? Maybe he would have overdosed. He didn't. He's still around. But let people know it's out there. There's people directly around you. There are people they're drowning in their alcohol or getting high every night who might need help. Next, I am also going through a workbook that is pretty popular, a career workbook. It's called What Color is Your Parachute? And it talks about having your online presence, Facebook, Twitter, and it goes a lot into LinkedIn. But to be honest, and for me to announce this, it could be a turnoff to employers. But I find it so much more important in life to let these people know it's there, to help coworkers be better, want to be better, give them a sense of confidence and ease in the workplace. I wouldn't go shouting it out, by the way, I'm an interview, I got the addiction thing, never. But for people to drop their walls at work, to people to be more comfortable. The annual cost of addiction to employer-sponsored insurance. I don't remember, this had to be within the last 2 or 3 years, but the annual cost to employer-sponsored insurance, make sure I say that right, $35.3 billion, up to $4,000 in turnover, and up to $8,400 in lost productivity. To break the stigma in the workplace would be vital. I can definitely say this for myself. The ability to be open, vulnerable at work can make employees want to go to work, want to be productive, want to be comfortable enough to do their best. This is something sports teams and the military do well, to let go of, to say, what are you afraid of? What is your weak spot? There are teams that do this to help each other. Makes me think of the first word of the first step is we. And the first word of the traditions is our. So when I'm struggling, I can have my arm around this guy here, the other, this arm, and these guys are carrying me. That's what, that's the point. Makes the employer more attractive to work for, decreases turnover by creating an accepting and compassionate culture and workforce. Boy, brings comfort and inclusivity. I don't know if I've shared about this before over the years of the YouTube channel. During a college reunion in 2019, there was so much more shame in being addicted, engaging in bad behavior, the risky behavior, more shame in having a problem and not doing anything about it than having gotten sober. Now, I was having a conversation in the weeks before this reunion, and one of the guys I was talking to, we're on the phone. I remember I was parking the car, we're on the phone, or I just parked the car, and we're on the phone, and somehow this is 4.5 years ago, so I don't remember the exact, or about 4 years ago. So I don't remember the exact wording, but we're going along this conversation, and I'm like, it's going to come out. He's going to ask if I'm sober. So I said, by the way, before you ask, yes, I am sober. He goes, how do you know I was going to ask? I said, because that's where the conversation's going. I'm reading it. He says, you don't mind if it comes up? I said, I'm like, listen, guys, you guys saw, I won't repeat the bad behavior I did here, but I said, you guys saw me when I was drinking and when I was maybe doing other things. You guys saw me in that awful spot. Why would it bother me if you know I don't do that anymore? You think I care that you know I don't do that anymore? No. There was some behavior in college that we all did. I said, you think that the fact that I don't do that anymore is the problem? No, we started laughing. So there is so much more shame in having the problem. I only wish part of me wishes I got sober when I was with them. It was a fraternity in college. The way I am now versus the way I was then, things would have been so much different. And I've spoken to college people, it would have been so much better off and had made such better decisions. So them knowing I don't do that anymore is not the problem. So next, recovery is all about being comfortable with yourself, laughing at things like that. One of the rules, it's not a rule, but rule 62, I think it's called. Don't take yourself so damn seriously. Be comfortable with yourself. Whoops, I messed up. I don't want to mess up, but accountability. You know it's here. You know sobriety's here. You can do what you got to do, lessening the chance of a relapse. Next, again, referring to that show, All American, this girl, the character in the show, respect for a confident, comfortable personality. Like to release, not be ashamed and uncomfortable. I've been ashamed and uncomfortable, and I've been, whatever, more ashamed than uncomfortable, but big difference. People will respect a confident, comfortable person. And finally, referring back to a guy I worked with, and I had no idea he was struggling. He had no idea that I was sober. It is so, and the big reason I would do the blow anonymity on this channel, it is so much more important than me. It is so much more important for people to know there's a way out than for someone like me to keep it to myself. It is so much more important than what an employer says or what people think about you. It is you getting right with yourself. It is so much more important for a person to do that than to worry about what somebody thinks of them. Somebody that in a year from now, they were like, oh my God, I haven't seen that person since, or I lost a job. Oh my God, I totally forgot. You don't think about that person anymore. It is so much more important for a person to know there's a way out than, like, saying the guy, hypothetically, if I had known he was struggling and I didn't say anything. So much more important. So with that is the end of the video. And there's, again, the big thing, there is more shame in having a problem and not doing anything about it than asking for help. Much more. So take a look at yourselves, something I have to do too, and let's be better.